All right, so we're here with Chad Coy, superstar strongman. Known this guy for seems like 40 years, right? But it's been well over 20.
You're 55, I'm 52. Yeah,
It's been a while.
20,
Chad,
27, I think.
I've said many times that Chad Coy is probably one of the best kept secrets in the strongman because he's been at it. He's been integral in so many things happening within the sport of strongman. And I'll be honest with you, I mean, he'll shake his head at me, but there's a lot of things that would not have happened if it wasn't for this guy being in strongman. So he's in charge of some major things, including what are you doing Parisi specifically?
I'm a master coach for the Parisi Speed Schools franchise.
Right. So he's expanded out of not just strongman, but into performance as a whole. And I just want to kind of share just a little bit, what Chad has done over the years, and maybe he'll share just a little stories, and then after that we'll go ahead and give him an adjustment. We're just coming out of Missouri's Strongest Man 2020. Had a really great time. We even had one gal that did exceptionally well, even with a broken scaphoid. So it's amazing the sheer willpower of strength athletes. Wouldn't you agree?
They're a special breed.
Absolutely. So why don't you share with people some of just a couple stories, would you? As far as
a couple stories about what?
Well, strongman in particular. He's got good stories. He's got stories from years,
there's
right?
A lot of stories. That's like 30 years of
How about we talk about Magnus or Magnuson just for a second?
Maggie?
Yeah.
I met Magnus in 1998 at the America's Full Strength Challenge out in Las Vegas. You know what? He's won World's Strongest Man 4 times. He's one of the greatest competitors ever. He's a student of the game. I watched what he did, and he would just walk out and look at the event and look it over. And he could see it in his mind's eye. And then, he traveled and competed so much. That's what made him such a good strongman. So he was like that early adopter of event training. So, but for his event training, it was he did a contest every weekend. So he would try different events. So the next evolution to Magnus was like Yoko Ahola. And Ahola went out and built everything and had a training hall. And I think that's when we were in the sport, that's like 98 to 2000. So, we just started building all kinds of equipment and having the equipment, and learning how to do the equipment, and training specifically for strongman before there was a system.
Right.
Right now, equipment's easy to come by. You can get it. There's a lot of knowledge out there. There's a lot of disinformation out there. I think a lot of it, you just need to find a mentor that will actually teach you how to do it properly the first time. I see a lot of people coming, well, by the time I get them, they've learned 13 different things, and I've got to deprogram them before I can reprogram them. It's very similar to high school athletes who've never moved properly. They don't understand acceleration or top speed or multi-directional speed. They can't manage their center of mass. They don't know how to decelerate and reaccelerate properly. So I have to break a lot of bad habits to teach them. So my advice is there's some great coaches out there, Rob Kearney, Adam Dirks, Brian Shaw. There's so many out there.
Right.
Cale Back on his on Starting Strongman has some great free programming. You should get it. So there's just some great coaches out there. Find one that works with you, that works for you, not just with you, but for you. That will help you.
Well, that's kind of focusing on the individual. Focus on somebody who's actually going to work with maybe your weaknesses. Maybe the cookie cutter approaches just are not a great way.
Maybe it's a place to start, but you know what? Eventually, you need to graduate on to actually having a coach that coaches you to be the best you can be. And that's really all that matters. Is that for you as the athlete, it doesn't matter what I've done with other people. How do I serve you as an athlete and create your program to fix your faults and exacerbate your strengths and make you successful. And that's a lot, like we were talking this morning, it's like what Dr. Todd does is, he looks at the individual and adjusts the individual. It's not like, it's not like you line up 50 people and do the same adjustment. It's different for every person.
Yeah.
So
I know Brian Shaw, who's 6'8" or Thor, or I take care of a 125 pound, CrossFit athlete, which is a completely different set of.
Yeah, so it's individualizing that. I think that's what makes it special. As far as strongman goes, it's just a great sport, and I think people need to really realize what the history of the sport is, where people came into the sport, what they've done for the sport, and you know what? I always say, remember the face of your fathers. It's one of my favorite lines from Stephen King's The Gunslinger. And you know what? Remember the people that came before you and honor them, and don't shit on them like a lot of people do now. It's like, oh, that I created that. No, you didn't. Nothing in strength and conditioning was created by you. Was new. It's just been recirculated from decades and decades.
That's the beauty of what they've done at the Stark Center with Jan and Terry Todd's.
Yeah.
Lifetime of work.
Yes.
To go ahead and share what's happening. What is that? Is that in San Antonio? Is that where that college is?
University of Texas. Yeah.
So, but I totally agree with you. And we see the same thing in chiropractic where, I look at it like this. Everything that I do, I'm standing on the shoulders of great people who came before me. So I honor the chiropractors, whether it be Gonstead or whether it be Thompson or, whoever did develop the line analysis system. And, and I equally, feel good about, just like, Chad has done as well, name some of the better coaches and the people with the great ideas who are current today. Not only do we learn from each other, but more importantly, I think and you probably agree with this, because of the individualistic aspect of each person that you work with, you learn from that person, and that makes you a better coach or better chiropractor or better person.
I think as a coaching goes, I've got a lot of people go out there. They're coaching people, they're training people. It's like, I'm a master coach. Well, to master any given aspect of life takes 10,000 hours. So if you've trained 40 hours per week for 50 weeks for the year, and you do that for 5 years, now you're a master coach. How many people have put that much time in? That might take them 10 years, 15 years. I routinely crank out 40 plus clients a week and have for the last 25 years. You tend to learn a lot of stuff about the average person, the body, the human body, and then elite level athletes, which you don't get a lot of. But when you do, there's a lot to be learned there as well.
Absolutely. And he's being modest. Chad actually puts in and has put in probably 60 hours a week for the last 20 years. And, so the skill sets that he has is huge. And I'll be honest with you, we need to take advantage of the opportunity to learn from people like Chad. So, part of the reason I brought Chad on is not only did he invite me out here and we're old friends and that kind of thing, but I also at the same time want to see him utilized and his knowledge utilized a whole lot more, not just on a local level like he's done so often, but at the same time on an international level. And he's got good big props that are given to him by some of the top athletes like Brian Shaw, and you and Van are going to be heading out to Colorado here soon. There's a reason for that.
It really came out of the blue, like Brian shot me a message saying, "Hey, would you do this?" I'm like, "Oh my God, yeah, I would. I'd love to. It's such an honor." Knowing who Brian Shaw has been around, what he's become, where he's come from.
Right.
What a great guy. I've known Brian now for a long time, and he's just a great dude. And when he calls and said, "Hey, will you come help?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'll come help." I'm just like, then I was sitting there thinking, like, why did you ask me? There's so many people out there that you could do that. But then it just became, like he said, Van and I helped him early on in his career. And really that's what Strongman's about. It's about helping other people. So now, just so we're clear, I didn't know we were doing a full montage here this morning. So I thought I was just getting adjusted. Because now after the contest yesterday, I trained early in the morning. We did the contest all day. I got to go train a little bit today. So
you're doing a Masters competition here coming up, right?
We're gonna do something. We're gonna see if this old guy's got something left in it. So Todd's gonna give me an adjustment. You guys get to watch. I'll preface it right now. I make noises.
He makes F-bombs too, just so you know.
And if I profane, I apologize now.
Ahead of time. Well, Chad, thanks. And let's get to work.
Nose in the hole.
Nose in the hole. You got it. Oh. All right, so you get to see the full side view here, so that's a win for us. Go ahead and raise your right leg, buddy, high as you can, okay? How about the other one? That's not very good. All right.
You never like where it says that's not very good.
No, that's not very good. Well, your right toe points out like crazy. This one drops down, so we got angry parts here. It's been a while since I've been able to get to adjust Chad, so we'll go ahead and go through. Oh my.
So I always want to say this, and just so everyone there hears, got a bilateral pars defect in my L5. You know, I've got some spondies that aggravate the crap out of me. And there's not a whole lot left in the disc between S1, L5, L5, L4, L4, L3. So Todd has his work cut out for him.
There's some things you can't change. We just want to try and make him perform better with the stuff he has. That's key. All right, legs are now even again. Legs are now even again. That was just with one bump, and even the knees, you feel the knee working so much better. Now, Chad has a lot of miles on him, and it's been neat to be on the journey with him, because I've been able to stand alongside him. You know, one of the things back in, 2012, yeah, Chad asked me to go ahead and go to Ireland with him, and I'll be honest with you, that was one of the greatest trips. It was fun because we were able to go ahead and hang out with Ode Haugen, and Ode is, what was Ode's titles? Did he ever win Norway's Strongest Man?
I don't know.
He's been at it
He's
for
the baddest ass dude over 65 in the world. How's that?
The man's got grip power like there is no tomorrow. And we love our Ode, that's for sure. He's good people. Martine, 2019 World's Strongest Man, came out of Ode's gym. And Ode's done a great job working with Martine. And Martine's equally is probably one of my favorite guys that has won World's Strongest Man, just because he's so fun and he's so real. And for me, being able to work with Martine's when he's a baby strongman, so to speak, and see where he's at today, isn't that kind of funny? Think about all the baby strongman. I mean, you remember, I still have the table that I developed McDougall Chiropractic Methods on, Chad. You know, I have a nylon strap as a handle on that now, and screwed it into the, I'm actually thinking about rebuilding that old table. And Phil Pfister was adjusted on that table before he became World's Strongest Man. And so that's kind of fun. All right, buddy, you're going to feel this in your belly here. Relax.
Oh.
Morning. All right. A lot going on here with my old friend Chad. All right. But, you know, just to converse, I saw that somebody posted there were 21 World's Strongest Man champions since, what? Since Sigmason, did he win that? Did he win World's Strongest Man?
Paul Sigmason?
Yeah. So, I think since his time, I think there's been 21 champions. And you know what, Chad? I've actually treated 9 of the 21 World Strongest Man champs, and almost all of the top women international champs as well. You know that?
I didn't know that.
That's so freaking cool. So, it's been really neat. And you know, Chad is the one who actually asked me, he says, is there any way that you can get me adjusted in the middle contest? Because Chad's comment is, you know, always loved chiropractors, always loved working with chiropractors. But the one thing that he figured out was that he kind of felt sprung. And that's your words, Chad. So it's like,
I don't remember saying it, but I could have.
he did. Nose to the right.
It's Todd's memories.
You know. But he says, how in the world can you figure that out? So I started looking, nose the other way, at what was going on within the chiropractic profession. And then I also took a look at what was going on in sports. Nose in the center. About the mid-90s, they started taking out things like static and ballistic stretching, because what they found was that it affected performance negatively. Nose that way. And this goes all the way back to neuromuscular recruitment concepts developed by a guy by the name of Dr. Hoffman in 1910. Nose in the center. And Chad's part of that movement years and years ago, because, I mean, of what he was doing. And they went to what's called dynamic warm-ups, right, Chad?
Yes.
Knows that way? So when Chad asked me, and granted I got out of chiropractic college in '97, but Chad asked me, he's like, why is that? What's happening and how can you do it? So what I discovered was, in doing research, was about the whole concept of Hoffman's reflex. Nose to the right again. And nose in the center. Realized that a lot of my colleagues in chiropractic were using what's called side posture application. You see that with a lot of PTs are using it, a lot of athletic trainers sometimes are using it, nose that way. And so if you go and you take a look at a side posture adjustment, which basically has a multi-joint, nose in the center, multi-joint stretch component to it, you start seeing that is a lumbar roll that goes to tension, which is a static stretch, coupled with then a bounce, goes that way again, which is considered a ballistic stretch, which science-wise is absolutely horrible based upon Hoffman's reflex. And so you lose, nose in the center, neural recruitment, but also neuromuscular recruitment. So it changes the threshold. Depending on the type of athlete, it may take anywhere from 24 to 72 hours before you actually have your thresholds come back to normal or a neutral setting. Got nasty in there. Nose to the left. So, nose in the center, I surmised to try and develop something that utilized short lever, high velocity burst applications, taking into consideration Gonstead line analysis identification processes on X-ray. So and then go ahead and compare, nose that way, the biomechanical distortions that I saw and compared that clinically, and been able to go ahead, nose in the center, come down with a means to go ahead and change the athlete immediately on the field of competition with an increase in power that lasts up to 5 max effort events. What person doesn't want that in performance? Right, Chad?
Let's put that in English. All what he just said. He'll adjust you, you'll perform better, you'll feel better.
Sorry, sometimes I sound sciencey even though I'm kind of a dopey guy that used to milk cows, you know what I mean? But anyway, be that as it may. Well, you know, I shoveled my fair share of poop. All right, let's go ahead and do your right leg up again, high as you can. Good. How about the other one there? All right, that seems a little easier. Let's open this up. What are you doing today? Are you doing deads? What are you doing training wise?
No, I deadlifted yesterday. You got reformers and
Okay. Well, I'm going to open this up a little bit. It feels a little spazzy. It's amazing how much tension gets held within this range. You know, you got your sections of the spine, parasympathetics, sympathetics, that kind of stuff. So what I found is by doing the ribs, actually a lot of times thoracic adjusting is really all rib adjusting because of the dynamics of the anatomy. Right leg up high as you can. Got it, other one. We don't teach that in school. Try the right one again, buddy. Still sticky on that one side. So,
I think a lot of that has to do with that lower back. I've had some innervation problems, but medial glute doesn't fire properly. But I don't dorsiflex the right foot properly, so I think that might be a lot of neurological. So I don't know if you're going to be able to really do much with it.
Sounds like a challenge to me.
Looking at challenge, I was just trying to get you in the right direction.
Do you know what though? But that's how I look at things, isn't it? You know, it's like how can I make Chad be better? You know, that's huge. Some of it may be coming out of what's happening here in the socket too. So go and flip over. Sometimes the pubic bone will go ahead and be involved. Sometimes the hip socket can be involved. You know, there's deterioration here and there. All right, so I'm going to just lift this leg up in through here, see what I got. That's pretty restrictive. That's like no motion at all.
Well, yeah, it internally rotates.
So, of course, if that is not in a normal position, you're going to have trouble firing that aspect of it. So, yeah, there's neurological. This kind of sucks a little bit, okay? I'm take it and bump it. Got a hair trigger to that thing.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Come on. There you go. Now, I'm going to take this all the way through, bring this in here. Some people will feel that in their IT band, they'll feel it in their knee, and it can actually cause there to be decreased firing opportunity in there. So everybody's focusing on this movement pattern. That's fine, and this stretch pattern. You know, pure performance test, this, that, whatever. But what I'm finding is nobody's taking into consideration this aspect. Feel how locked that is?
Yeah.
This doesn't even freaking
Feel
move.
that my right erector as well.
Yes, exactly. So you can actually have other things. There you go. Now I'm going to take that. Pardon me. Feel that movement pattern there?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to give me a hand to help you up here real quick. Or it's kind of quick. All right, now put your nose back in the hole. Let's check to see what your movement looks like now.
It's moving slow as what it's feeling like.
That's because you're almost my age. Right leg up again. Feel the difference in that?
Yeah, it's not as doesn't feel sticky.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
But I mean, but it's almost like, you know, that we just turned this on. So the joint not being in proper position is going to change neurologically what's happening in through here. But just the free flow of motion has been changed right here. So, you know, which come first, chicken, egg, doesn't really matter. Big thing for me as a chiropractor, move the damn bone. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to flip you over and work on them shoulders now. Oh, joy. Now Chad's almost wore this table off. This is one of the tables that we went to Ireland with and drank real Guinness, real beer, as Chad says. It's awesome. So you've been over there several times.
5.
Right?
6. Ooh, that's sticky.
Yeah. Well, these elbows are a little beat up. But I'm going to tell you what, that doesn't feel bad as far as that bicep tendon. So often that bicep tendon, go and bend it right here, put your other hand on your belly there. So often that bicep tendon's missed. People forget that that's part of your shoulder motion. And so even people who bench press will go ahead and have the bicep tendon get hypertonic because it will slide if you bump out of the groove. There are some that say, yeah, that can't happen. Well, that's fine. AC joint. That's fine. It happens. So you can either be the guy that's writing the books and talking in the classroom, or you can be the guy who's out here working and see exactly what's going on. So you notice here, I'm not winding up and whacking Chad here with this either. Nice little short clicks. Do you feel those?
Yeah.
Now this bicep tendon is not very happy. So I'm going to go ahead and roll that over.
Jacked up in 2019.
Great. Problem is we don't get together very often. So it's part of the reason I came out here, so I can hang out with this big lug. It's always nice to reconnect with your friends, you know? And that right there, just put it on your head. There you go. Now, surprise. Big clavicle issue here. Oh. Now, that first clavicle, the clavicle and the first rib, kind of a combo move. That's why I open it up like that. And it kind of sucks. But you got the bicep tendon acting squirrely. You got troubles. Mm-hmm. There you go. We'll move that around. Woo! How's that feel, brother?
The right elbow's still sticky.
Yeah, unfortunately. You don't have great elbows anymore. Where are you feeling it at?
Yeah, all of it. It's just not moving.
Nope.
Let's not piss it off.
Nope. Actually, it's moving, but it's sticky. You're right. Give me a hand. Help you out. Oh, get up here.
Flip out over ankles, knees.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Shoes on, shoes off.
Go ahead and leave them on. Only because I'm feeling nice. Now, years ago,
My feet
let's
don't
scoot back a little bit that way. There you go. Put you over here. Years ago, one of the things that we saw is that the athletes felt so much better, almost lighter, when we would go ahead and do the ankle adjustments. Oh, that's great. So we added this into the mix for our strongman athletes as well. Now, because they have such heavy loads that they carry, you got 300 and some odd pound athlete like Tony. Remember Tony Scrivens, right?
Yes.
Tony's gone now, but it's he'd be one of those guys that carry 350 pounds in each hand and squash down his tennis shoes. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I think in part, he and we were talking back then in the early 2000s about footwear and how solid the sole is. And Chad actually ended up getting involved and actually had a pair of dress shoes they used to wear. Remember those dress shoes you used to wear? They were hard-soled wood shoes to give him a better foundation so that there was no crush. So he didn't lose his, now there are some, feel that spot right there? There are some in the chiropractic industry that will say that they never have to move a fibula. Well, that's fine. I think sometimes you do. And maybe it's strength sports specific, I don't know. But I see it with running athletes as well. Go ahead and move that.
Not better.
So we'll try to get that out of there. But anyway, shoes have changed so much from the way they used to be. And I'll be honest with you, Chad won't take credit for it, but I saw Chad being at the forefront of that. And all these lifting type shoes and everything else that a lot of you young guys and gals are using, you can give this man right here some credit.
He remembers things so much differently than I do.
Just an observer. Just an observer, my friend. That's what makes you a champion with hubris, my friend. Which is a rare quality in today's Instagram world. There. Try that.
I just need better. What you're saying is I just need better booty shots on Instagram.
I think so. If you go ahead and just tuck it, or you could do like Vaccio does and just kind of put your face on those girls, which is really weird. There's some special sickness there.
Yeah, there's a special word for him.
We love
you know what
him,
it is?
though.
It's just Vaccio.
Exactly.
He's just, if you just
That's what he goes by.
It's Vaccio. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, I was so tickled when he actually did his first stand-up comedy routine. That man is just a riot. So, well, listen, Chad, any parting words? We got you done up. How you feel?
You know what? I do feel significantly better than when I lie down on the table. Looking forward to a good training session. It's great. Always great to hang out with you and the Strongman gang. So just like, you know what? As far as wherever you're at, if there's a Strongman show, get out, go watch it, go support it. You know, better thing, go help. You know, you'll learn a lot by helping. Or just sign up and do it. If you need some help, I mean, there's lots of great coaches out there. Hit them up. Get someone to help you out.
Do you have contact information for yourself so they can give you a buzz?
You know what? Look me up. You can find me on the internet. I'm there. I'm not going to do it now. This wasn't about self-promotion. This is about...
I'm promoting it because he's all that.
Hey, this is about you guys get out and see Todd. He'll make you feel better, and you'll compete better. So thanks. I guess thanks for watching. I mean, it's always I didn't cuss, so
You did actually pretty well.
I was doing pretty good. I probably should have got my new age mouthpiece on there, so I could have probably bit down a little bit more.
Well, and you could have promoted them
Exactly.
too. Should we? Yeah. I mean,
No,
you
it's
think
okay.
they like that?
I think I just did. So, hey, thanks, guys. See
Take
y'all.
care, everyone. Hope you enjoyed listening, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you.